I'd like to call to order the school committee meeting for December 5th, 2018. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence. Thank you. The listing of matters on the agenda are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed, in fact, may be discussed. Other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being videotaped for cable. Do we have a move to approve the meeting notes from the November 5th meeting?
Moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. We'll come back to recognitions. Dr. Oakley, Superintendent's update.
Okay, so we have one thing up here, and there's a couple more things I want to say, but budget process, we know that we're entering that time of the year again, where we have to formulate our budget so that we culminate with presentations to the Finance Committee and the Selectmen, and then eventually go to town meeting in June to get it approved. This is normally about the time we start talking about it and putting it together. As you know, we do have a new business manager that we'll be working with, and so the format and process will be similar to what we did before, but there are a few different things that we'll probably be making some changes to based on some feedback that we received from the Finance Committee and the Selectmen last year, just in format stuff. But we'll be giving you a lot of the same information, but updated with different costs and stuff like that. So right now, today we had a preliminary meeting with the principals to talk about the process with them, when we need their numbers in. I have not received official word from the town yet, but the last 5 or 6 years, it's been a level service type budget. I think last year they called it level funded, except for contractual obligations, which really is level service. So I shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume that that's probably what we're going to get again from them. And then hoping to have a draft to you at our February meeting that you can look at, and then have a meeting at the end. Usually we have it the Monday after we get back from vacation in February. Add an extra meeting, do our line-by-line budget hearing, vote on that at the beginning of March, and then present to FinCom and Selectmen after that. So that's really the direction we're going in. I'll update you as soon as I get the dates from David on when we'll meet with FinCom and Selectmen. I'll let you know. But if we want to, we could book that meeting in February before people's schedules fill up, which would be, I believe, February 25th.
Okay.
I think that's the Monday. So it's an additional meeting, but it's just budget. And if that's okay with everyone, you can make a motion to add that as another school committee.
Do that one earlier? Time. Do we usually do that one at 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Is, obviously Jim's not here. Is February 25th okay with everybody?
That's fine with me.
Okay. We'll
That
pencil it
way
in
we have a
for
couple
February.
weeks. If you do come up with changes or suggestions after the presentation, it gives the business office a couple weeks to be able to change that and put it together before you do the final vote. That gets pushed on to the town.
And that's going to be at 6 or 6:30, like this?
6, I believe.
6, thank you.
Okay. All right, moving on to business. We'd like to add somebody to the negotiations subcommittee. Do we have any volunteers?
I would love to do that.
All right.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Is that a voting?
Yeah,
we have
because
a-
it's one of the
Make
subcommittees.
a motion.
I would like to nominate Mrs. Sullivan to join us on the subcommittee. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, SEEP Inclusion Matters.
Yes, I have an update. First off, they hosted a successful fundraiser at Hammer and Stain in Easton in November, and raising over $200 for the organization. Inclusion Matters will have 2 meetings to start the new year. The first one is going to be Monday, January 7th at 6:30 p.m. It's a parent and guardian night out at El Mariachi's in Easton. And then on Tuesday, February 26th at 6 p.m., our district's occupational therapist, Jenna Duckworth, will speak about the value of play for all ages of students in Not Just Horsing Around, the Power of Play, which will be held here in the West Bridgewater Middle Senior High School Learning Commons. They're also announcing a 4-week, 4-class yoga class for children with special needs. It's in the works for this winter, and it's offered by an organization called Balance Kids, and it's going to be held at the West Bridgewater Public Library. More information will be posted soon on the Inclusion Matters Facebook page. Finally, the chair of Inclusion Matters, Melissa Winchell, is collaborating with the Department of Developmental Services, the Brockton ARC, and Bridgewater States and Massasoit Community College Inclusive Concurrent Enrollment Initiatives to host a South Shore Area Legislative Breakfast in the early spring. They're excited about this opportunity for teens and adults with disabilities and their families to advocate at the state level to a room full of state representatives and senators for better funding for programs with people with disabilities. And again, more information will be posted on the Facebook page.
Awesome.
Cool.
You want to go back?
Yep. We are going to now return up to recognitions. The 2018 Peace Poster Contest winner is with us. Mr. McLaughlin, would you go to the front?
So pleased to recognize Willow Cooney, one of our 6th grade students, who is our Peace President. Do we have a Kim, do we have a copy of the?
Yep.
Oh, she's up there?
Beautiful piece of art.
Beautiful.
I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That looks great.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
Do you have?
very much.
I thought you were talking about
Oh.
what her-
Well, we could ask her still.
Yeah.
She's not going anywhere.
You're inspired.
Why don't you ask?
Willow, would you kindly tell us a little bit about will you come back up and tell us a little bit about your poster? We can see it and it's beautiful, but
Yeah.
a little painful, but it's so pretty. We want to hear a little bit about it.
How you came up with the idea?
Yeah, how did you come up with the idea to draw what you drew?
No?
Like, drew it.
Really?
You're extremely
Wow.
That's
talented.
even
based
more
on-
impressive.
Is it based on anything that you were thinking, or?
Not really.
No? That's awesome.
You did
It's a great job.
Well, you did a
It's a
good
great
job.
job.
It's okay.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, back to business. Year-to-date expense report. Is
I
that?
believe you had got one in your packet,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? The year-to-date expense report.
I
And
know.
you can see that up to, and this is up to the date, this isn't just quarterly or monthly. So up to this date, the expenditures, about 42% has been expended of the budget. You need to realize that this does not include any FY18 encumbrances or carryovers that we had to pay from FY18 or Southeastern Regional. If you go through your pages, you'll see that Southeastern Regional is in here, but that's not part of the school budget. So that has been adjusted by Vicki, so that's not in there. And because if you look at the last page, it actually says 43.5%, and the reason for that is because Southeastern Regional and a few other things are in there, all right?
Mhm.
So that's why she, on the cover page, adjusted that for you. 42%, we were talking about today, is about on target And the other thing to keep in mind is, this is just the budget, the actual budget, not included, like, we haven't expended the school choice funds that will offset salaries, grants that offset certain things. So all the things that we contribute, this is just in the budget. Okay, so if you looked at that and Mickey's also encumbered the salaries, but that's not in here because you'd look at it and freak out and say, oh my God, 92% is already gone. But it's because we haven't used, I mean, we have $1.2 million earmarked to help with salaries out of school choice. She just hasn't tapped into that yet. So what she's doing is spending on the budget, and then next month we'll make journal entries to move things where they're supposed to move and go to other places. And that's really kind of past practice with what Sarah did. She did that in January and then in June. You may do it a little bit more than that, but as far as we see, we're on target. So, you can look through this and look at the different lines and what's expended, but what you need to keep in mind, I think the most important thing is this is a bottom line budget. So even though you might say, well, how come we're over on this line? Well, it's because, things could be moved from somewhere else, because maybe we had an emergency come up and we had to take, something from maintenance, so maybe we deplete maintenance, but maybe we can take it from somewhere else and cover up. So it is bottom line. So, and she hasn't done all the journal entries with changes. So next month it might look different. So I wouldn't follow. The main thing is looking at what's expended, the percentage. Anything else that makes sense? Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mickey. Approval of policies. Policy 7500, school property use. Myself and Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden is unavailable tonight, but we will get into that next meeting in January.
That's a nice little slide
Yeah,
there. Huh? Oh, good for
Background
you.
checks, Mrs. Sullivan and Mrs. Hume.
Unfortunately, we're both here.
Funny how that works.
Wow, the gavel over there is good, powerful. All right, I'll take the background checks if that's
Sure.
okay. Have you all had an opportunity to review the MASC's form of the background checks policy? Are there any questions, concerns, thoughts?
No.
Excellent. I'd like to make a motion to approve the policy 8304, the background checks policy, as presented.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Animals in the classroom.
Yes, that was mine. Mr. Michael Lasik and I met last week, and we reviewed some other districts. What we wanted to do with this one is keep the animals in the classroom policy the same, but just add a section on therapy dogs. And so we met, and I'll have a draft for you to review next meeting. It's just not
Sounds good.
quite done yet.
Sounds good.
It's getting there.
All right. And policy 1000, school committee, Mrs. Sullivan. I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith.
So on this policy, I just made a change on the very last page of the policy. So I didn't change it to be in line with our MASC codes
Yep.
and whatnot, mainly because I don't understand that all.
Yes, we need to have a little seminar on that.
Welcome
So-
aboard.
Yeah.
So I apologize, but I did make one change that I thought was important for what we want to accomplish now, and that's on the last page. Just adding niece or nephew when requested 30 days prior to graduation and confirmed desirable by the graduating student, changing the entire sentence, referring to the distribution of diplomas at graduation.
Sounds good.
Keeping everything else the same, that it's a present or past member of the school committee. And keeping child or grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. Do we have a motion to accept the change?
No, I'm pretty much in favor. So yes, I'll make a motion to make the changes as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Moving right along.
So does that mean, because I know we had a request, so should we,
Yeah, we do it right now, or do we just do it January? I don't,
part of the policy now, so
Yeah.
can I
Yeah,
just,
so as part
can I
of the,
just get,
yeah,
contact that person then?
Yep,
yeah.
because
Okay.
it's clearly 30 days prior to graduation,
Graduation, right.
so,
Okay,
absolutely.
Mhm.
all right.
Warrants, warrant subcommittee report.
Yes, that is myself. The following bill warrants were issued and paid. November 16th, 2018 for $3,294. Bill warrant dated November 22nd, 2018 in the amount of $141,411.79. A bill warrant dated November 29th, 2018 in the amount of $40,516.34. A bill warrant dated December 6th, 2018 in the amount of $181,167.51. And then the final bill warrant dated December 13th, 2018 in the amount of $71,516.52. There were 3 payroll warrants, one dated November 16th, 2018 in the amount of $537, I'm sorry, wouldn't that be nice? $537,244.58. A second payroll warrant in the amount of dated November 29th, 2018 in the amount of $504,806.95. And then the third is dated December 13th, 2018 in the amount of $539,771.78. Of all of these, I did review all of the backup information, and as always, all warrants are public record, and once they are signed, they are available in the Selectman's office for further review if requested.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Public forum, members of the audience wishing to address the committee may do so at this time. Audience members are reminded that personal issues, or issues that would violate student confidentiality cannot be addressed during the public forum.
I have something, I know I'm not exactly in the public, but I wanted to just say, last night we had our first girls co-op ice hockey game in Canton. So this is our making history, our first time that West Bridgewater has had a girls ice hockey team, and we've joined forces with East Bridgewater, and it's just been an amazing opportunity. So there were 3 West Bridgewater ice hockey players that really initiated this, and what I think is most impressive is that those 3 girls have this opportunity to play, but even more so, we now have 12 West Bridgewater athletes playing. So there's 9 student athletes from West Bridgewater that have never had an opportunity to play ice hockey before that now have an opportunity to play ice hockey. And that number really, truly blew us away, because up until the coaches meeting, we knew about 4 players. And that's how many we thought we were going to have, always hoping that a couple more would come on board, but we have 12 in total.
That's
So
awesome.
it just shows that this community is really about making more opportunities for our student athletes, listening to our students, and it's been a great experience. So Wednesday night is their first official home game over at the Bridgewater Ice Arena at 8 p.m. So unless you're going to bed, you probably don't. You should be able to.
How did
And
the
we
first game go?
The first game was excellent. We
Yeah.
played Canton last night. They did not win. They lost 6-4, but they had their 6-4. They had their first goal.
Wow.
They had their
Nice.
first penalty. They had their first penalty kill. They had their first power play. They had their first save on net, which
Nice.
our goalie is from West Bridgewater, and she's a brand new player. And it's just been amazing, really, to see everyone step up and work together.
And
That's
that's,
great.
I mean,
That's so cool.
Canton's an established program, so
Yeah.
to lose 6, well, that's pretty good for your
Yeah.
first game ever.
That was competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely competitive.
Yeah, it was excellent. And I know anyone who is in the hockey world knows that it's a small family, so Canton was actually a very special place for us to play for the first time, because that's where my father-in-law coached for about 20 years. So it was really
Wow.
cool. So we ran into a lot of people that we knew, actually both Canton girls hockey coaches are former players of his.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the
That's
whole thing. I just
wonderful.
love it.
Nice.
That's great.
It's, yeah,
That's
it's just
fantastic.
amazing.
Thank you for
Yeah,
that
so thank
update.
you guys, and thank the community too, and East Bridgewater. It's been really nice to work together with them. It's been a great opportunity for everyone.
Great.
So thank you guys.
All right, other business. School council meetings. The Howard is January 14th at 2:45. The Roselle McDonald School, December 17th at 3:30 p.m. PTO, December 18th at 7 p.m. at the Howard School. Athletic Boosters is December 19th at 7 p.m. in the teacher's room. And then again, January 9th, 7 p.m. in the teacher's room.
I don't think they're having a December meeting, actually.
They are not? Okay.
Mm.
What is?
They're not?
December 19th is scratched for the Athletic Boosters meeting. Inclusion Matters, January 7th, Parents and Guardians Night Out, El Mariachis in Easton at 6:30 p.m. At the Middle Senior High School, December 12th is the Winter Concert at 6:30 p.m. December 14th is the Talent Show at 6 p.m. And January 9th is National History Day, 6 p.m. in the cafe and Learning Commons. At the Howard School, December 11th, 6th grade field trip to Gillette Stadium. December 13th, the Winter Concert at the Middle Senior High School at 6 p.m. And January 8th, Reading is Fundamental, 12:30 p.m. At the Roselle McDonald School, December 18th, NED, Show All Grades, PTO sponsored. January 8th, Reading is Fundamental, 8:40 through 9:30 a.m. At the Spring Street School, January 8th, Reading is Fundamental at 11 a.m. Wow, already. This was quick. Our next scheduled school committee meeting is Monday, January 14th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. in the Middle Senior High School Learning Commons. Now we will move into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to the collective bargaining and not reconvene in open session. We need to have a motion and a roll call vote.
Actually, I think I need to read this just as
Okay.
well. To move into executive session to discuss, as Mr. Flynn had stated, strategy with respect to collective bargaining, as per Chapter 39, Section 23B, Paragraph 3 of the Open Meeting Law, and not to return to open session thereafter.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Thank you.
Your record, Bill. Your record.